Maeve is now 4, she's just started reception. And she was born, and we were told that they thought she had a syndrome, but they weren't really sure. And then after a few months, we realised she couldn't see. So then went to Great Ormond Street and got a diagnosis of nystagmus and extreme myopia. So nystagmus is when the eyes flicker, so they move back and forth. Her vision is much better now, so she wears glasses all the time. She can now see at short distances, but if things are really busy, it's a bit too much for her. But then what we also had was physical difficulties. So she sat at 6 months, which is really good, but then did no further physical development. And at the same time, we were in lockdown, and so it was very hard to get hold of any face-to-face appointments, and the health visitor told us about PlaySkill. And so we had an assessment with them in the November 2020 it would be, so when Maeve was about 18 months old, and started in January initially online. So you would have kind of a 1-hour session over video in those days with either speech, physio or the occupational therapists, and they would teach us exercises, and they taught us things like encouraging Maeve to sit on a chair that put her feet on the floor, so she'd start putting weight through her feet and building up strength there. And over the year, as I say, initially we were online, then we ended up coming to small groups, getting that weekly physio, and she started bum shuffling, and then she started putting some weight through her feet, pulling herself up to stand. That's my favourite video. The first time she did that was the one that made me cry, so that was the big milestone that I really appreciated. And then she started walking, took her first steps just after her 2nd birthday, and then it took her a long time to build up the strength to turn taking steps into walking. But we're now there, so she can now walk. She's been learning to manage steps, so she can now step up and down a curb on her own. And she's now talking, she uses full sentences. We're lucky enough that we've got her into a very good mainstream school with one-to-one support, and hopefully she's going to do really, really well. PlaySkill means to me having an extended family of support. So that comes from the therapists knowing how to support you. It comes from meeting the other parents who know to some extent what you've been through, what you're going through, without you having to explain it. It's really the peer support that I didn't get through lockdown, to be able to come to PlaySkill and meet other parents in similar situations who know what it's like going from appointment to appointment, to know what it's like to not know what the future holds for your child. That's been absolutely priceless.